on the God of Jacob, whose love endures through generations. I know that you will keep your covenants. I'm calling on the God of Moses, the one who opened up the oceans. I need you now to do the same thing for me. For me, for me. Oh God, my God, I need you. Oh God, my God, I need you now. How I need you now. Oh rock of ages, I'm standing on your faithfulness, on your faithfulness. I'm calling on the God of Mary, whose favor rests upon the lowly. All things are possible. I'm calling on the God of David, who made a shepherd boy courageous. I may not face Goliath, but I've got my own giants. Oh God, my God, I need you. Oh God, my God, I need you now. How I need you now. Oh rock of ages, I'm standing on your faithfulness, on your faithfulness, standing on faithfulness. Your children, then you hear your children now. You are the same God. You are the same God. You answered prayers back then, and you will answer now. You are the same God. You are the same God. You were providing then. You are providing now. You are the same God. You are the same God. You moved in power then, and you are moving now. You are the same God. You are the same God. You are a healer then. You are a healer now. You are the same God. You are the same God. You are a Savior then. You are a Savior now. You are the same God. You are the same God. Oh God, my God, I need you. Oh God, my God, I need you now. How I need you now. Oh rock of ages, I'm standing on your faithfulness, on your faithfulness. Oh God, my God, I need you. Oh God, my God, I need you now. How I need you now. Oh rock of ages, I'm standing on your faithfulness, on your faithfulness.
Well, happy Maundy Thursday, everyone. Thanks for joining me today for our Maundy Thursday devotional as a part of our Holy Week. Today, I want you to turn to John chapter 13, verses 1 through 17. A little bit of a lengthy reading. This is the Lord's Supper. This is the Last Supper, and an opportunity for us to kind of lean in on what was happening on this particular day during Holy Week. You guys read with me. Before the Passover festival, Jesus knew that his hour had come to depart from the world to the Father. Having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. Now, when it was time for supper, the devil had already put into the heart of Judas, Simon Iscariot's son, to betray him. Jesus knew that the Father had given everything into his hands and that he'd come from God and that he was going back to God. So he got up from supper, laid aside his outer cloth, took a towel, and tied it around himself. Next, he poured water into a basin and began to wash his disciples' feet and to dry them with the towel tied around his waist. Now, this particular passage goes on, and there's an interchange between Jesus and Peter where Peter just absolutely is beside himself that Jesus would wash his feet. He's like, no way, Jesus. But Jesus shows him, look, I have to do this. And the reason Jesus had to do it is to show Peter that in the kingdom, leaders serve. They get down in the muck and the mire to do the work of redemption. This brought to mind an experience from my childhood, one I'm sure that you've seen over and over again in your life. You ever been to a McDonald's and seen a parent or teenager leaned over a trash can, like rummaging around, pulling stuff out, down in all of that nastiness to find something? And we know what's at the bottom, right? It's a retainer. Seen this lots and lots of times. The kid accidentally leaves the retainer on the tray, dumps it, and then suddenly we've got a problem. Well, the reason parents are so willing to stick their hand down in all those other people's germs is because what's at the bottom of the trash is so valuable. And I love that metaphor because I feel like in this story, Jesus is teaching us the same thing, that you stoop down into the muck and the mire to wash dirty feet because the people's feet that you're washing are so valuable and significant to you. See, this famous passage about these filthy feet and these travelers who Jesus, the leader, stoops down to wash is a reminder to us that God gets down in the filth to serve people. This moment is a microcosm. It's a living metaphor for perhaps Jesus' entire ministry. He came into the world to live amongst people. Like if you really kind of step back from it to 30,000 feet, you realize that Jesus was like that dad rummaging around in the trash can, trying to help these broken and dirty and filthy and sinful and unrighteous people find their way back to God. That's the story of the gospel in essence. I was thinking this morning, from Jesus' perspective, of ultimate righteousness and purity, everyone he met on earth was a sinner. They were all broken and lost and impure and unholy. It's just that some of them denied it. And then you see, like, Jesus spends a lot of his time loving those who are aware of their brokenness and sort of getting down in the muck and the mire with them to help them find redemption. And then he spends the rest of his time trying to convince the ones who are denying it that they're a mess and that they need him. This isn't just a story that Jesus lived out. God's been doing this from the beginning. You see in Psalm 40, verse 1 through 3, it says, I waited patiently for the Lord, and he turned to me and heard my cry for help. He brought me up out of a desolate pit, out of the muddy clay, and he set my feet on a rock, making my steps secure. I will sing a new song, or he put a new song in my mouth, a hymn of praise to our God. And many will see and fear, and they will trust the Lord. Listen, this is significant here. Our new song, my new song from this passage, my hymn of praise, begins with God getting dirty. Begins with God lowering himself into the pit with me to get me out. Jesus washing dirty feet. Jesus coming among dirty people that we might have life. I think the message for this, one, is a message of gratitude, that we remember in this moment that Jesus was a servant. We're grateful for that because we needed a servant to save us. For us, though, I think the reminder today is not to be afraid to get dirty. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Following Jesus will inevitably take you to places where you have to. And when you're there, remember this simple truth. When we get our hands dirty because we believe that broken people are immeasurably valuable. They don't just matter to God, they matter to us. And the rescue is worth the sacrifice to rescue those people. So listen, if service is beneath you today, leadership is beyond you. Remember that. If you're too big to serve, you're too small to lead. And may we never be people who are afraid to get low, people who are above getting low. May we be people who, like Jesus, are willing to get down in the muck and the mire with folks, to serve them in a posture of humility in an effort to bring redemption, healing, and healing in their lives. Happy Maundy Thursday. Love you guys, and let us follow Jesus today.
Thank you so much for joining Houston Northwest Church online during Holy Week as we experience what Jesus went through leading up to his crucifixion. If you have questions about following Jesus or would like to connect with someone about next steps in your spiritual journey, text Know Jesus at 281-946-6500. I'd like to invite you to join us in person on Good Friday at 6:30 p.m. as we remember Jesus' death, and then we will celebrate his resurrection on Easter Sunday with multiple service options available. Check out our website at hnw.org for more information and enjoy your week as we help make Houston more like heaven.